Well, welcome to the Valley Hoops Insider podcast, part of the Valley Hoops Insider website. Harry Schrader with you today, that fine-looking young man on the screen with me, Devon Ellis. He is a brand new Valparaiso beacon. And first of all, Devon, thanks for joining us. I forget what day it is. It's a Tuesday morning. What is class schedule like on a Tuesday for you?
Thanks for having me, first and foremost. For me, on a Tuesday, I have one class at 12:15. It's financial accounting, and it's about an hour and a half long. So that's it for me for the day.
Appreciate you doing this with us. You wear number 11. My first question for basketball players is always, does the number matter? Like, is 11 important to you, or they just threw that at you when you got to Valpo?
No, I requested 11, but in high school, I just thought it was swaggy. I just thought it looked good. So I just went for 11, and it kind of stuck.
Spectacular. You're from the Chicago area. You ended up at Linkier Academy. You went to Sedalia Smith Cotton, went to Maryland Eastern Shore. You're finally back home. A lot of journey. But talk about that a little bit. I think COVID related to some of why you ended up at Link. But I want to take you there first. What was your time there like? And Adam Donier is a friend of mine.
Yeah, no, I love Donier. So I met one of my friends just playing in the city, and he was headed to Link Year, and I didn't really know what I was going to do because COVID kind of threw a wrench in everybody's recruiting. So I thought it'd be a great opportunity to go to Link. Ended up going there, had a great time. That's where I kind of found my faith in the Lord. So it was a great experience for me. I grew in a ton of ways, not only just basketball, but like as a man. And yeah, we had a crazy team. I think we had 14 people, and I think 11 went D1.
Wow.
So it was super stacked, super loaded. So eventually, led me to JUCO, and then the rest of the story just kept going on. So
I went to school in Warrensburg, Missouri. So your favorite part of living in Sedalia was what?
Favorite part of living in Sedalia, man. There's so many options that are coming to mind. Man, probably just hanging out in the dorms with the fellas. I don't know. I mean,
not a lot to do in Sedalia.
Not a whole lot, no.
How did you end up from Sedalia, Missouri at Maryland Eastern Shore?
Yeah, so we didn't have a great year as a team, but, I put up some good enough numbers, and Coach Brown actually knew Coach Crafton pretty well. He had sent a player from State Fair to UMES before, so I was kind of the second one to do that trend. And yeah, they were just the most serious about my recruiting at the time. I didn't want to wait super long, and I didn't really want to, play around with people who were like uncertain about me, and I wanted to go somewhere where I knew I was wanted. So I ended up picking there.
And then similarly, how do you end up from at Maryland all the way back to Chicago? Or not Chicago, but the Midwest and near Chicago?
Close enough, yeah. So I knew I kind of wanted to get back closer to home. I've been bouncing around for a few years now. And I knew I wanted to, play at in a bigger conference, a higher level. So I was talking to Donier, and he knew Roger personally. Obviously, he sent Cooper here.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that was really pretty much the connection. Pretty much right on my visit, I knew right away that I was coming here. So.
And I know Roger is very open about his faith as well. Was that a big component, minor component, no component to your decision?
Yeah, so I'd never say that I would turn down a school because of, somebody's not a Christian or they have no faith. But it definitely, makes you feel like more, I don't want to say connected to the person, but just like you share common interests, just like anything. And it's more of a comfortability thing for me. So, yeah.
I expect big things out of the Beacons this year. Tell the people that don't know a lot about your game. Average double digits last year, 16 times in double digits at Maryland Eastern Shore. But tell people about your game. What do they expect to see? What should they expect to see when they see you on the floor?
Yeah, well, just about a little bit of everything. I attack the rim pretty hard. I drive. I get some pretty cool dunks here and there. Also, being physical, grabbing rebounds, knocking down the catch and shoot, open threes, playing in the mid range, playing with my teammates. I like to get in transition a lot. I love to run, love to bring energy for my guys. So just whatever coach needs me to do, I'm pretty much doing that. So I'm all over the place.
6'6", about 215 from what I read. 3-point numbers weren't great last year. They were outstanding at State Fair. What was different, or just a bad shooting year?
No, so it wasn't necessarily a bad shooting year. It's just the fact that I didn't take them. So at State Fair, I was really comfortable shooting the three. I shot a good amount of them. The numbers were there. I was hitting them at a good rate. And then when I went to Maryland Eastern Shore, I think we kind of, as a team, we kind of got stuck in like a rut. I think we were taking the most threes and one of the lowest percentages in the conference. So
Hmm.
my mindset was just, let me drive to give us a chance of winning. I don't want to add to the number of 3-point shots. Honestly, probably hurt a little bit. So I wasn't putting up, something that I'm very capable of doing. But I'm getting back to that here, and feels great.
I love what Coach is doing there, putting together the team, and I want to ask you about some of your teammates. But the fit in terms of style of play for you with Coach Powell and Valparaiso, talk about that.
Yeah, so the fit is just, I think everybody fits exactly what they're doing great. So some people are shooters, so their role is, they're coming off the screens, they're getting in the right spots, they're getting their looks for what they're best at. And I think that kind of just plays into everybody on the team. There's not just one thing that we do as a offense or defense. It's very versatile and it changes constantly. So everybody gets, a chance to do what they're best at.
Some people might look at numbers at Maryland Eastern Shore and say, well, it's Maryland Eastern Shore. It's a little bit of a lower level. But 16 times in double digits. I want to rattle off some of the teams you did double digit scoring against: Temple, Notre Dame, North Carolina State, and George Washington. Clearly, you can score against the best of the best.
Yeah, just something that I've always been naturally able to do. And, I look forward to taking that next step here.
Tell me a little bit about your teammates, and since a number of them were playing in this league a year ago, and obviously Cooper was the freshman of the year in the league, you already probably have a feel for what your team looks like and what the league might be like.
Yeah, so right when I got here, it was made to feel like home. Cooper, Darius, the returners, they show you the ropes, and it's they played at a high level, a very good speed, and even the new guys we've brought in, Jeff and Isaiah Shaw, they're all high level basketball players. They've been playing basketball for a long time at a high level, and we all click super well. Off the court, even with the freshmen, Justice and all, even our walk-ons, like we're all super tight knit and we're clicking very well. So
You break it down for me a little bit. We know about Cooper, we know about Darius, we've seen them play, but tell me about Justice McNair and what he brings to the table.
yeah, super. I don't even know how to say this. Super good at just handling the pressure. For a freshman, he's very poised. He's not afraid to take a big shot. Neither is all. They're both knockdown, from the outside. They look to get me or anybody else has a high hand. They look to get them the ball, and they're very, eager to learn. So that's all you can ask for in a freshman.
Well, you mentioned All Right, by the way, greatest name in college basketball. I mean, All
Yeah.
Right. But he was a Link guy as well. You obviously weren't there at the same time, but have you compared notes a little bit with All Right?
Yeah, so obviously when we got here, obviously a little bit of an instant connection with the link situation. So now that's 4 on our team. A little bit of a crazy stat there, but no, but all he's great scorer as well. Also not afraid to take the big shot or bring energy. Eager to play defense, learn. So they go hand in hand, him and Justice, and it makes our team a lot better.
In the brief time you've been there, I've never been to Valparaiso. Where is the best place for me to go eat when I finally make my maiden voyage to Valpo?
Man, so, the team talks about Kelsey's or Stacks or Radius. Those are some of the spots around town.
All right.
I've only been to a couple. I'm a big Chipotle guy, so I don't
Okay.
venture too far from Chipotle that much. But yeah, those are probably the spots.
So you got to hook up with the Chipotle people for a little of that NIL cash. Uh,
Yeah,
so I read somewhere where you are a right-handed basketball player, but you do most other things left-handed. True or not? And then what are those things you do left-handed?
this is true. So pretty much everything else besides athletics is left-handed. So I write, I eat, sometimes I throw. Anything else that requires a dominant hand, it's pretty much done with my left hand. So shooting the basketball with my right. And honestly, I think it happened when I was young. I didn't know anything about basketball. I think I was at a workout one time and I saw everybody else shooting with their right hand. So I just figured I might as well shoot with my right hand too. So that's my theory, but
That's funny. My youngest son throws right-handed, does everything else left-handed. He's similar.
Okay.
It came out the same way. And then I read somewhere that you're a snowboarder as well. You don't think of a lot of basketball players being snowboarders.
Yeah, I don't know if I would consider myself a snowboarder, but I do know how, and I'm pretty good at it. It's hard to find time during the season, to get out there. But during COVID, yeah, I picked it up as a hobby, and I was pretty good at it. Biggest one on the slopes always, so it's a good thing too.
And then tell me about you, goals, future, academics. You're studying what? I think it's in the business realm, but talk about what's out in front of you. Obviously, you've got a couple years left of college basketball, but talk about what's ahead for Devon Ellis.
Yeah, so I'm majoring in business management right now, and I'm doing pretty well. 3 out of the 4 semesters I've been in college, I've had a 4.0, so plan to keep
That's
that
not
up.
pretty well, friend. That's like outstanding.
Yeah, I'm planning on keeping that up. As far as basketball goes, I just want to win. I want to come here. I want to turn things around. I want to win. I want to get to the tournament. I have 2 years left of college, and that's obviously a goal for every college basketball player. I want to play basketball as long as I can. I want to play pro. I want to do all those big things, and I'm just excited for it. I think we all have, a like mind here, so very excited for that.
Tell people, I read somewhere that your favorite quote was Proverbs 27:17, as iron sharpens iron, so a man sharpens a man. Tell the people listening to this conversation what that means to you and how does that apply in your life?
Yeah, so the biggest takeaway from that verse is just, sharpening the man next to you. So if one day, your brother, your teammate is having an off day, that doesn't mean you take an off day. You know what I mean? You go just as hard as him as any other day. And over time, you guys are making each other better from the constant competition and pushing each other, and you're sharpening each other at the same time. So,
who do you live with there at Valpo?
I live with my teammate Luth. We have a 2-bedroom apartment out here. So.
Thanks for telling me how to say his first name. I didn't know how to say his first name. And then give me one player that's going to surprise people. They don't know he's really that good yet, and he's going to surprise people in the Missouri Valley Conference.
Me? No.
You?
besides me, I'd say Tyler Schmidt for sure. A lot of people
tell me why.
They might, undermine the NAI thing, but that kid's a bucket. He gets to it. He, knocks down shots. I don't want to give away all his secrets, but he gets to it for sure.
I appreciate your time today. I like trying to get to know players around the league as we get around and announce some of the games. We write about the league and those kind of things. So I appreciate your time today.
For sure. Thanks for having me.
That's Devon Ellis. He is a brand new Valparaiso beacon, and watch out for Valpo this year. They're going to be a lot better. It's going to be fun to watch. You've been paying attention to the Valley Hoops Insider podcast, part of the Valley Hoops Insider website. Remember, since you've been there, make it a better place. We'll see you again real soon.